Greetings and welcome to Order In. I'm thinking pie, I'm thinking chicken, I'm thinking pot, I'm thinking chicken pot pies!
Like all good American meals, this one's beginning with vegetables, but then we're covering this shit in buttered pastry dough. We're gonna chop up some carrots, some celery, and some onions. Get them all into a nice bowl while we prepare the rest of the ingredients. Next, we're going to peel up some potatoes and get them cubed. In between the peeling and cubing stages, and in between the cubing and boiling stages, you're going to want to get them into a nice big bowl of water. This is going to prevent oxidation and prevent browning. Get some water on the stove and then dump in the potatoes and bring it up to a boil. We're going to do a parboiling here, and you can add some extra spices for some extra flavor. This is going to keep the pie nice and tender. In a large pan or soup pot, we're going to get a copious amount of butter on medium heat a melting and then toss in the vegetables. We're going to do a partial frying of these, which is going to soften them up like the potatoes and add an extra depth of flavor. Make sure to add some salt to pull out the moisture and let them go for about 5 to 8 minutes. When the vegetables are nice and soft, it's time to make a judgment call. You're going to end up making a roux out of the fat that's left in this pan, so if you don't have enough, add a little bit extra. I added some bacon fat, and let it melt. To do the roux, we're going to add a heavy sprinkle of all-purpose flour to the pan and get that stirred up. We're only going to cook it for about 1 or 2 minutes to take the edge off, and then we're going to introduce the milk. Add your milk to the pan and get that stirred up. We want to use cold milk for the best results and the least clumpiness. After you get it all stirred in and added in, you should be left with a luxurious creamy texture. We're going to add some extra salt and pepper to taste, and hell, anything else you got on the spice rack that looks like it might be good in this. Thyme, basil. Keep that stirring up on the stove until it comes to the consistency you're looking for, and then take it off the heat. Now, isn't there supposed to be chicken in this? And what happened to the potatoes? There they are. Get that added in, and if you don't have any leftover chicken to add, you can always grill up some chicken in anticipation of the pot pies. Get that stirred up, and we're ready to start construction. Now we're using good old-fashioned puff pastry for this. You could use one of my previous recipes featured in the video to the bottom left for a better kind of dough, but I wasn't having that shit, so I didn't. Get it out of the freezer right before you're ready to use it and let it sit for about 5 to 10 minutes to defrost. We then unfold the dough and make a judgment call yet again. Depending on the size of your pies and how many you've got will determine how many times you want to cut this thing. I went for an even 4 to keep it simple, 2 sheets cut into 4 apiece, a bottom and a top for 4. Beautiful. Ready your oven-safe pieware and get it oiled, unlike what I did. Then we're going to apply the dough to the bottom of it. This is entirely optional. Some people prefer not to have the dough at the bottom. Anything that increases the butter count of this thing I'm going to go for, so I'm adding it. Reasonably obvious what's happening next. We're going to fill them up with the goo. You can add some extra peas for some crunch. Don't add them beforehand or they'll turn to mush. Top with the other piece of pastry and coat in a nice egg wash. Remember, that's just a beaten egg with about a tablespoon of water. Get those into a 350 to 375 degree preheated oven and you're going to be pulling out deliciousness. These are a fantastic weekend meal and a wonderful way of making something up to eat during a work week. Why order out when you can hang out and order in?